All right, Codeman S. Here we go. We're doing learn basic algorithm thinking by building a number sorter. We got 45 on the last one. I got up to 34 before I died. Hopefully we can get to 35 before I die. All right. So we're doing learn basic algorithmic thinking by building a number sorter. All right. So in computer science, there are fundamental sorting algorithms that all developers should learn. In this number sorter project, we're going to learn how to implement and visualize different sorting algorithms like bubble sort, very important. Selection sort, I don't know about that one. Neither do I know about insertion sort, all with JavaScript. This project will help us understand the fundamental concepts behind these algorithms and how we can apply them to sort numerical data in web applications. And I'm pretty sure these all have Wikipedias too dedicated to them also. Let's see. Selection sort. Well, at least we got something. Oh, no, we got a Wikipedia for sure. So, yeah. Anyway, you can check those out once you forget about, FreeCodeCamp. But anyway, so let's start the project. So here we go. Let's sort it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Looks good enough to me. How about a 5? Still good. All right. Start coding. Pardon me. So here on step 1 in this project, we will be building a number sorter. The HTML and CSS has been provided for us, and we're going to feel free to explore them. Anything crazy? That's all I want to see. Is something crazy? No, that's regular. Media query, that's pretty regular. Let's go look at the HTML. Anything nuts? Option. Oh, those are options. We've done that before. Anything crazy? No, everything's pretty ordinary. All right, so let's get back to it. So when we are ready, which we are, we're going to declare a sort button variable and assign it the value of get element by ID with an argument as sort. You got it. Pardon me. So let's do that. Const sort button equals document dot get element by ID, and we're going to do this sort thusly. Let's cap that off with a semicolon. Check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 2. So to prepare our project's logic, we're going to use const and arrow syntax to declare a sort input array function. It should take a single event parameter. What are we doing? Const and arrow syntax sort array. Okay, so const sort input array equals event arrow, and then this part right here. Let's cap that off with a semicolon. Check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now on to step 3. So we will be using this as an event listener for the sort button, because buttons associated with a form element submit by default. We will need to prevent that behavior. We're going to call event.preventDefault in our function to do that. Okay. Event. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah. Remember when we push, when we submit something? I don't remember. I think we did that on the calorie counter. When we submit something, the whole screen will reset. What does it do? Because buttons associated with a form element submit by default, we need to prevent that behavior. All right, anyway, so what we're going to do is say event.prevent default. I was this many days old before I realized that event is in the word prevent. Anyway, whatever. So let's cap that off with a semicolon. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. Get off of this. And now we're on to step 4. You see how that... No, never mind. We were resetting. So now to test our code as we write it, we're going to mount an event listener to our sort button element. And it should, it should listen to the click event and take sort input array as the callback. Okay. So we'll do sort button dot add event listener. and then we'll look for the click, and then we will put sort input array as the callback function, right? That should be good. Let's cap that off with a semicolon, check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 5, pardon me. So back in our sort input array function, we're going to need to get the values from our select elements. Since they all have the class values hyphen drop down, we can query them all at once. So we're going to use document.getElement by class name, the first time we use this, to get all the elements with this class by passing in the argument values drop down. We'll assign that to an input values variable with const. You got it. So we're inside of here. Let's do this on 6. We'll say const input value equals. We'll say document dot get elements by class name, and then we'll do that with values hyphen drop down, like that. And let's check the code. Get elements document dot get elements by class name. Input values, don't forget the S. Check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 6. So we're going to remember that get elements by class name returns an array-like object. We can use the spread operator, the spread syntax, to convert it into an array. So we're going to convert document.getElements by class name call, this thing call, to an array with the spread operator, and we'll assign it to a variable called input values. Okay, so let's wrap this up in brackets like that, and then let's in front of it put ... with the spread syntax. That should be what they want. So let's check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now on to step 7. So we're going to need to get the values from our select elements. These values will currently be strings, and we will convert them into numbers. We'll use the map function to iterate over the array. We'll pass a callback function to map that takes a drop-down parameter and returns drop-down.value. I don't remember. We probably went over map, but we'll do it again anyway. We're not going to go up. Anyway, whatever. Let's do this. So we're going to do a map function to iterate over the array. So let's do input values.map. Input values.map. And for the callback function, we'll do drop down. And we're going to return drop down dot value. All right. Okay. I think that's cool. Let's check the code. No. Oh, directly. Okay. So let's get rid of this. Put dot map right after it. Dot map. And then we'll say drop down, arrow, drop down dot value. All right. Now let's check the code. All right. Looks good. And so basically, whatever classes are in here, it's going to do all the classes in here, 1, 2, 3, whatever the elements are, and then it's going to do a dot value on each one of them, right? So let's check the code looks good and submit it. So now we're on to step 8. So we should use the console.log. We should use console.log to print out the result of input values. We'll write the code for this inside the sort input array function. Okay, to see the result for the input values array, we're going to log out the input values array to the console. Then click on the sort button and open up. We'll put it over here. Okay. And we should see an array of strings like this. Before going further, we should make sure we observe the data type of the printed result in the console. In the next step, we will convert those to from strings into numbers. Okay. So we're going to do console.log, input values. I don't think we got to do anything else. I think it's just a bunch of extra words. So let's check it. Okay, yeah. 82413. And yes, they are all strings because it's input. So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now on to step 9. So we're going to update our map method call to call the number constructor function. We're going to pass drop-down value to that function call. Okay. And we're going to open up the console tab to see that our input values is an array of numbers now. Okay. So yeah, let's wrap this drop-down values in parentheses. Drop-down value in parentheses, and let's say number. And then open up the console and sort it again. So yeah, the numbers right now. Let's do a parse int on it too. Parse int. Because that's what we were doing in binary converter. Sort it. Yeah, so parse int and the number constructor both turn them into numbers. Number. All right. Check the code one more time. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 10. So now that we have confirmed the data type of the input values element, we're going to remove our console.log call. All right, so let's get rid of this right here and go to the next step. Boom. Step 11. So we need a function to update the display with the sorted numbers. We'll start by using arrow syntax to declare an update UI function that takes a single array parameter. Okay? Because we will be writing algorithms that won't immediately have a return value, we'll set a fallback value for array to be an empty array. And here's an example of a function that has a fallback value. Okay, yes. Okay. Okay. So let's do that. So we're going to do an update UI function to start off with. So we'll say const update UI equals. And does it say a single array parameter? So array like this. Then we'll do this. And what were we doing? We'll need to function that takes a single array parameter. Because we will be writing algorithms that won't immediately have a return value, set a fallback value for array to an empty array. Okay, so let's wrap this in parentheses while we're at it. And let's say array, and as a default, it's going to be an empty array. Okay, and then let's put the little curly braces and cap it off with a semicolon, check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 12. So to perform an action on each element in the array, we're going to use the method that is meant for iterating over arrays, the for each method, okay? So we'll use for each and pass it an empty callback which takes num and I as parameters, okay? So in here we'll do a for each method. We'll say array.for each, and this is going to have an empty callback with num and I. So num, comma I as parameters, right? Let's go over to the for each method or at it. For each JavaScript. Boom. So yeah, the first thing in the syntax, this is going to be our callback function as the hold on. Yeah, it's going to be the callback function, but okay, whatever. Okay, so it's not like map where each of these is a specific thing like element or whatever. All right, so we're just going to have number and I guess index right here. So let's check the code. No. What? Oh, yeah. Don't forget the curly braces. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 13. So we're going to create a variable named output value node and set its value to the result. Hold on. And set its value to the result of calling the document.getElementById method. We use template literal syntax to pass in the output value and then a embedded expression with I in it, string, to get element by ID. Okay. So we're going to make a variable named this. So we'll say const output value node equals. Then we will have a set of parentheses. We'll do this. No. We're going to do a document dot get element by ID. And then inside here, we're going to have a template literal with output hyphen value hyphen embedded expression. Whoa, embedded expression. And inside here, we're going to put whatever I is. I think that's good. Let's cap this thing off with a semicolon. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 14. So we're going to set the inner text property of output value node to none. Okay. Okay, so we'll say output value node. Let's tab it over. Dot inner text now equals num. The string num? No, num. It's num. This thing right here. All right, so let's cap that off with the semicolon. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now on to step 15. What are we doing right now, though? For each, okay, update UI. What are we passing in here? Well, I guess we gotta wait till later till we find out what we pass into that thing. So in our sort input array function, we're going to call our update UI function and pass input. Oh, there we are right now. And pass input values as the argument. Right? So we're inside of here. No. Sort input array function. Okay, so we're inside of this. We're inside of this right now. All right? And so what we're going to do is call the update UI, and we're going to pass in input values as the argument. Okay, so this array right here is going to go into this thing, and for each num and I. So which one's the num? Is that what's going to be? I is the index. Oh, okay. So it's going to be like it'll be like the num 8. So 8's going to be the number and the index is going to be 0. Output value 0 is going to be the ID of the thing. Okay. So we're going to do that. And we should now be able to click the sort button and see inputted array in the output section. Yes, we can. But what did we do? Oh, no. We didn't sort it yet. This is just the inputted array. Okay, cool. So let's check the code. Looks good. And I'm still not sure what happened. What are we doing? So this is the click. This is the event listener. When we click sort, where's the event listener? Okay, so when we click it, it's going to do sort input array. So it's going to do this. It'll do prevent default, which is it won't submit it. And then input values is going to be, these are going to be the input values, which is these right here. We're going to get the class name, the value drop down, whatever this is, dot map drop down, and then we're going to turn it into a number, whichever drop down dot value. So 8, 2, 4, 1, 3. We're turning those into numbers. And then we're calling update UI, which is this right here, which is going to be, and we're going to pass an array into it, and then we're doing a for each to it, a for each, and for each of the array, which will be these right here, these numbers in order, we're going to do const output value node equals document dot get element ID output value. Okay, let's go look at that. Where's output values? Here's some options. Let's go look at this again. Output value. Output value. Oh, this is just the... Okay. Let's just come back over here. So here's the values. Output container. Oh, here's the output values right here. Okay, so output value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so it's going to choose one of them. One, do we have a fifth one? Oh, no, there's 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, so that's what's going on. So it's doing that. It's choosing one of those, whichever one the index is. So here's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it does the output value dot node inner text equals whichever num it is that's getting passed in. Okay. Okay. Let's check the code. Looks good and submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 16. So now we need to actually sort the array. The first sorting algorithm we will implement is the bubble sort, which starts at the beginning of the array and bubbles up unsorted values towards the end, iterating through the array until it's completely sorted. We're going to begin by declaring a bubble sort variable and assigning it an arrow function that takes an array. Yeah, this is pretty much the only one I'm familiar with so far. I used this a bunch in the Code Wars videos, but I already forgot how to do it. So let's just do what they say. So we'll say const bubble sort equals an array parameter. So array, we don't need a default, so we'll just have array with an arrow and the code block, whatever it is. Curly braces. Looks good and submit it. All right, now on to step 17. So we're going to need to iterate through the array. For simplicity, we'll use a for loop to do so. You got it. So are we going to... Okay, so it's just a regular for loop, no for of. So for let I equal 0. I is less than array dot length. We'll say I++, and then we'll have the code block. Let's check the code. Looks good and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 18. So because we need to compare elements, we will need to use a nested for loop. So it's a double for loop. This loop should iterate through every element in the array except the last one. So we'll use J as our inner loop's iterator value variable. Okay. So we'll say for let I equal, let J equal 0, while J is less than array dot length, and since we're not doing the last one, -1, we'll say I++, like that, right? Since we're not hitting the last one, we're gonna end it at the, you know what I'm saying, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 dot length -1. So we'll stop at here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, whatever. Check the code. Don't forget the code block. Boom. Check the code. Come on now. Should iterate through every element in the except the last one. -2? Nah, come on now. Except the last one. What's wrong with... What? What are you talking about? Every element in the array except the last one. Is that not right? I don't want to have to ask the expert, but we're going to go ask the expert. Boink. According to this, why is this wrong? All right, expert. Let's hear it. Let's hear it from horse's mouth. Okay. What? Come on now. I'm talking about, I mean exactly what. God, the expert's talking too much. Anyway, let's try to figure out what it says. Minus I. Length minus 1 minus I. J plus plus. Oh, also I pushed I plus plus. Okay, there we go. It was J plus plus. Okay, okay. ChatGPT, well, sometimes it's right and sometimes it just keeps talking. And submit it. All right. So now we're on to step 19. For debugging purposes, we're going to add a console.log call to our inner loop. We'll pass it the argument array at j, and array j plus 1. Okay. So inside of here, all right. So we'll say console.log array, comma, array at j, array j, array at j, and array at j minus 1. All right. Check it. Come on now. J plus 1? Oh, plus 1. Boink. There we go. And submit it. All right. Now on to step 20. So in our sort input array function, we're going to declare a sort value. Where are we? Okay, so here's this then. All right, so in our sort input array function, we're going to declare a sorted values variable. We'll assign it the value of calling bubble sort with our input values array. Pardon me. And then we're going to update our update UI call to pass sorted values as the argument. Okay. In our sort input array, we're going to declare. Okay, so let's declare this first. Const sorted values equals the value of calling bubble sort with our input values array. So bubble sort input values. Then update our update UI call to pass sorted values as the argument. Okay, so we'll put sorted values in here. But we still haven't done the bubble sort yet. So it's still going to do, it's actually going to do nothing. It's not even going to do what it used to do. But whatever. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 21. So to achieve the bubble up result, we're going to need to check if the current element is larger than the next element. We can do this by accessing the array at j and j plus 1. We'll create an if condition that checks if the current element is larger than the next element. All right, so we'll say if. Let's move this over. If array at j is greater than array at j plus 1. We'll do something. All right, so let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now on to step 22. So when our if condition is true, we need to swap the two elements, bubbling the larger element toward the end of the array. Very true. So to do this, we're going to declare a temp variable and assign it the value of array at j. All right. Then we'll assign array at j the value of array at j plus 1. And then finally, we'll assign array at j plus 1 the value of temp. Very true. Yes. I'll show you what we're talking about. So we'll first start and say const temp equals array at j. All right, j. There we go. Now we're going to say array at j now equals array at j plus 1, right? So now we got that. And now we're going to say array at j plus 1 now equals, now equals temp. All right. So because we're changing this, we can't actually assign this to this because at this, after we do this part of the code, this and this are going to be the same. Okay, so that's why we have this temp here. So this is basically a thing that we remember. It remembers that this used to be this. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Like let's say array, like let's say this is 5 and this is 4. Okay, so like or here we got 8 and 2, right? So we got 8 here, and then array at j plus 1 would be 2, right? So we say array at j now equals 2, right? So now we've got array at j, this is 2, and this is 2. They're both 2. But we need this to equal 8. But since this equals 2, we can't just say array at j, we have to say the temp, which equals what it used to be. So this used to be 8. This is 8. Temp is 8. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, well, there's a Wikipedia. Wait. Bubble sort. Let me see. I'm pretty sure this has a better explainer. No. Anyway, yeah, this whole thing has the exact way it happens. So it checks the next one. Is this bigger than this one? They switch. Then the next one. Is this bigger than this one? They switch. All right. And then this was the temp. This is the temp. This is the not temp. This is the temp now. This is the not temp. This is the j plus 1. They switch. And that's basically how it works. And then it goes through again and again and again until it's all sorted up. Let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now on to step 23. So finally, after our outer loop has finished executing, we'll return the sorted array. So we'll just say right here, return. What are we returning? Array. Hopefully that works. Let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we've got step 24. So we're going to click our sort button to see our bubble sort algorithm in action. Haha! Great. 1, 2, 3, 4, 18. Okay. If we open the console, we can watch the steps the algorithm takes. Ah, yes. Okay. We can see this. Okay. It's better to just look at this thing. This is much better to look at. This animation is much better. But yeah, this animation is what's going on. So now that we have confirmed it works, let's remove the console.log. Okay, let's get out of this. Boom, gone. Check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, step 25. So it's time to implement another sorting algorithm. This time we'll be implementing a selection sort. Selection sort works by finding the smallest value in the array and then swapping it with the first value in the array. Let's go pull that up, actually. Selection sort. Let's see if we got a, look at it. We got a thing. Interesting. I don't really know what's going on here. Interesting. All right, let's just read about it. What did it say? All right, so then it finds the next smallest value in the array and swaps it with the second value in the array. It continues iterating through the array until it's completely sorted. So we're going to start by declaring the selection sort variable and assigning it an arrow function that takes an array parameter. Let's go look at it again. All right, so it's looking for the smallest value. Okay, here's a small value. Here's a small value. Here's a small value. Here's a small value. Right? So it's going to, there's this 2. The 1 is small, but the 0 at the end was the smallest. I wish this would go slower. But yeah, the red, it's highlighting the smallest with the red. There's the smallest. There's the smallest. There's the smallest. Change. There's the smallest. Change. There's the smallest. Keep it. There's the smallest. 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 There's the small. There's the smallest. There's the smallest. Switch. All right. So basically that's it. So we're going to start by declaring a selection sort variable and assigning it an arrow function that takes an array parameter. All right. So let's say const selection sort equals array, and then we'll have the arrow, and then we'll have the block of code right there. Let's check the code. Come on now. Selection. How about that? Check it, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 26. So we're going to update our sorted values variable to be the result of calling selection sort instead of bubble sort. Right? Selection. Boom. Check the code. Come on now. Come on now. Was that not good? We're going to update this to be the result of selection sort. What did I do? So, yeah, that's not good. It's way down here. I should have just typed it out right the first time. Selection sort. There we go. And submit it. Selection sort needs to iterate through the array. We're going to declare a for loop to do so. Pardon me. All right, so we'll do that. We'll say for let I equals, whoa. Should we just take this one? Where is it at? We'll take this. Yoink. Badoink. Boom. That's what they want. Check it. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 28. So a selection sort relies on tracking the index of the smallest value in the array, like we saw in the animation. We're going to declare a variable min index and set it to I minus. No, just I. And this ensures that if our current value is the smallest, it will be swapped with itself and not be moved. Okay. We will need to be able to reassign the value of min index as we iterate through the array. So then we're going to write another for loop using j as an iterator, and this loop needs to start at the index after I and iterate through the rest of the array. All right. So we'll start by saying const min index equals I, right? Then we're going to do the second for loop. We'll say for let j equals 0 while j is less than array.length. We'll say j++. And then we'll have the block of code like that. That should be good. Let's check the code. Come on. Let. Did it say let? Well, oh yeah, we're changing it, so we should have known let anyway. So since it's not just a read only, we'll do let min index. There we go. Check the code. Come on. The for loop should initialize j to I plus 1. Oh yeah. I plus 1. All right. So whatever I is, we're going to start at the next. So if I's index 0, we'll start at index 1 for the j checker. Right. So it'll check to see if this one. And once it gets to this one, we'll check this one. Right. And that's how that works. Let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 29. So inside of our nested for loop, we're going to add a console.log call to check the values of array and array at j and array at min index at each iteration. We can click the sort button to see how our algorithm is traversing the array. Then we'll write an if statement that checks if the value of array at j is smaller than the value at array at min index. And if it is, we'll set min index to j. Okay. So where are we doing that? We're going to do that inside of the nested for loop. So inside of here, we'll say console. Whoa. All right, there we go. Console.log array, comma, whoa, array, comma, array at j, and then comma, array at min index, like that. And let's move this one over 1. All right, so let's check the code. Come on now. Oh yeah, we also have this part. Then we're going to write an if statement that checks if the value of array at j is smaller than the value at array at min index. Okay. So let's cap this off with a semicolon, and then we'll come down here and say if. Let's do 2 spaces. If array at j is smaller than the value at array at min index. If it is, set min index to j, right? So if so, we'll say min index now equals j, right? So it equals I. So this is j. Okay, so this is where I is. This min index looks at this one. This is smaller. So now min index is 2. It's, pardon me, now min index is index 1. So it was 0, now it's 1. This is bigger than this one, so this one doesn't change. Min index doesn't change. This is smaller than this, so min index is now 0, 1, 2, 3. So min index is now 3, and this is bigger. So now we're going to have to make these two switch, right? The 8 and the 1 are going to switch. So let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 30. So after our nested for loop, we've found the smallest value. True. We need to swap it with our current value. So like we did in our bubble sort, we'll use the temp variable to extract the value at array at I, and then swap the values at array at I and array min index. Okay. So yeah, let's just take this from 28 to the end of 25. Copy that. We'll put it here at the end of 43. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Bless me, thank me. All right. And then we're gonna change up some stuff. So we're gonna make index at I. This is gonna be I right here. This is going to be array at I is now array at min index. Yeah, min index. And array at min index is now whatever's at temp. So let's switch this out, right? So now this is switching with that, and this is switching with that, right? So let's check the code. Come on. Oh, this has got to be after. All right, so let's take this, Control X, and right here, after the nested for loop. So after this, we'll drop it off right here. Okay. So we'll drop it off right here. That looks terrible. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back, bring it up, and that should be good. So let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now on to step 31. How many more we got? Shoot, 15 more. All right, we can do this. We can do this. Let's go. So finally, after our outer loop is finished, we need to return the array. And once we've done so, we should be able to see the output change when we click the sort button. So we're going to return. What? What are we doing? Oh, return array. Okay, so we'll return array right here on 52. So we'll say return array. Right or wrong? You need to, yes. All right, let's cap that off with a semicolon. Check the code. Looks good. And let's check it. Yep, look, it works. Great. And let's look at the console too. So yeah, this 2 and 8. So this and this. I don't want to go through that. Here's the animation. It's doing the same thing. All right, and submit it. All right, so now we're on to step 32. So with our selection sort now functional, we're going to remove the console.log statement. Okay, where is it? Right here. Out of here. Check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 33. Oh my goodness, give me a second. Ugh. Ugh. Gotta build that learning and talking stamina. Oh my goodness. All right. Step 33, here we go. The last sorting algorithm that we're going to be implementing is the insertion sort. This algorithm works by building up a sorted array at the beginning of the list. What is it? Insertion sort? Let's go look that one. Insertion sort. Boom. Wikipedia. You gotta. Oh. Is this a. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. What? Okay. That's smaller, so it's moving. Oh, it moves to the front. That's smaller, so it moves to the front. You know, if it was a little bit faster. Honestly. Okay, so these were not, those two were not, this was not bigger. Okay, so this is bigger, so this goes here in front of the thing that was, well. What? Oh, so it's checking if the one behind it is bigger? So it is bigger. Then checks that, it's bigger. Checks that, is bigger. Checks that, it's bigger. Checks this, it's smaller. Put it right there. Is that faster? That looks a lot faster. Okay, this is smaller. Move it back one. Okay, this is smaller than this. Move it back one. It's smaller than this. Move it back one. This is smaller than this, and this, and this. Keep moving. Smaller, yes. Smaller, yes. Smaller, yes. To the front. Smaller, no. Smaller. Smaller. Yes, it's smaller. No, it's not. Put it right there. Is it smaller? Yes, 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 yes. No. Put it right here. And then the same for 4. Okay, so we see what's going on. Let's read this. Let's read this again. So the last sorting algorithm we're going to implement is the insertion sort. This algorithm works by building up a sorted array at the beginning of the list. It begins the sorted array with the first element. Then it inspects the next element and swaps it backward into the sorted array until it is in a sorted position, and so on. So we're going to start by declaring an inserted sort variable and assigning it an arrow function which takes an array parameter. Okay. So we'll say const insertion sort equals array. And then we're going to have the arrow, and we'll have the curly braces and the semicolon. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now on to step 34. So as before, we're going to update our sorted values variable to be the result of insertion sort instead of selection sort. Okay. So we'll do insertion sort. Insertion sort. Boom. Check the code. Looks good and submit it. 35. An insertion sort algorithm starts the sort at the beginning of the list, meaning that the first element is already sorted. Okay. With this in mind, we're going to create a for loop that starts at the second element in the array. It should still iterate through the rest of the array. Okay. So we'll say for let I equal 1. because it's starting at the second element, while I is less than array.length, we'll do I plus plus. Boom. And then we'll go to the end and have this right there. Let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 36. We're going to declare a curval variable and assign it the value of array at I. Pardon me. Then we're going to declare a j variable and assign it I minus 1. Our j variable should be reassigned. What? What? What does that mean? Our j variable should be reassignable. Oh, reassignable. So it's saying let. Okay. So we're going to start with curval. We'll say let curval value equal array at I. Or should it be const? Const curval u equals this. All right. And then we'll say let on the next one. Let j equal I minus 1. Is that what they're wanting? Yes. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 37. Pardon me. So for this algorithm, we're going to want to use a while loop. The loop needs two conditions. First, it should not run beyond the beginning of the array. So access with j. Not run beyond the beginning of the array. Okay. Second, the loop should not run after it finds a smaller value than the current value. To prevent an infinite loop, we're going to decrement j inside our loop. Okay, so let's try to interpret what that means. So we're inside of the for loop. We're going to say while it should not run beyond the beginning of the array. Oh. While j is greater than 0. Yes, I think that's what it means. Second, the loop should not run after and. So and. While j is less than I. Is that what they want? And while j is greater than I, less than I, no. Greater than or equal to 0. Okay, so should have a condition that checks if the value array at j is greater than curval. Okay. Curval, array at I. Okay, yeah. Is greater than curval u. Okay. What? So, okay, so this means it's going to be we're going to be iterating backwards. So this needs to be greater than or equal to 0 or greater than -1, whichever one you want to do. And then j needs to be bigger than curval. Huh. Okay. What? J needs to be bigger than curval. So j equals I minus 1. So j, so I is going to be this. Okay, so we're going to say this is j. Okay, so this is j and this is I. That's what's going on. Okay. And then this has to be bigger than this. What the? Array at j. Come on. Array at j. I'm getting confused here. Okay, so j has to be bigger than 0. All right, so this is j is an index. And then array at j has to be bigger than 2. Okay. Or then the next one. Check the code. Come on. Okay, so j minus minus. J minus minus. So to prevent an infinite loop, we're going to decrement j inside the loop. Is there anything else we need to know, guys? No. Okay, great. I hate this one. Let's reset it and try to get it ourselves. All right. So for this algorithm, we're going to want to use a while loop. This loop needs two conditions. First, it should not run beyond the beginning of the array, accessed with j. And then second, the loop should not run after it finds a value smaller than the current value. Okay, so to prevent the loop, we're going to decrement j inside the loop to prevent an infinite. Okay, so let's come down here and do the while. So while j is greater than or equal to 0, right? That's going to take care of this. First, it should not run beyond the beginning of the array, right? And then we're going to say and while array at j is, this would be j and this would be I, is greater than curval, which is curval's array at I, right? So is greater than cur value, like that. What we're going to do is decrement j inside the loop. So we'll say j minus minus, j minus minus, like that. All right, so that should be what it is. Let's check the code. Come on. Oh, what? Oh, I did this wrong. What did I do? All right. Let's do this. Let's get rid of this. Let's drop this. Let's get this. Pull it up here. Back this up. Tab this over. There we go. And submit it. All right, now on to step 38. Oh, that one was confusing. So on each iteration of our while loop, it's finding an element that is larger than our current value. We need to move that element to the right to make room for our current value. If we didn't have this this animation, just think how confused we would be right now. Whatever. All right. So we're going to do this by assigning the value at j index to the next index. Okay. So on each iteration, we're going to, okay. On each iteration of a while loop, it is finding an element that is larger than our current value. We need to move that element to the right to make room for our current value. Move it to the right. We're going to say j, the value at index j, so array at j now equals array at j plus 1. Sounds bad. Okay. To the index. What the goodness. Before decrementing j, we're going to assign the value at j to the index j plus 1. So j, that can't be. That doesn't make sense. J is going to equal array at j plus 1. Okay, before decrementing j, assign the value at j to the index j plus 1. Didn't we just do that? Okay, back up, back up, back up. Didn't we just do this? What are you saying? Oh, thank you. Yeah, yes. Prajwal, is that how I say your name? Well, I'm not doing well on this one, that's for sure. But yeah, thanks for watching the videos. So what's going on here? On each iteration of our while loop, it's finding an element that is larger than a current value. We need to move that element to the right to make room for the current value. We can do so by assigning the value at j at the j index to the next index. So array at j equals array at j plus 1, right? How's that? I'm about to go crazy. All right, awesome. So to do so, let's go ask the expert. All right, let's say this. This is what I have so far. Let's reset this thing. Semicolon. The lesson is telling me to do this. Yes. Let's take it one more time. All right. Is that, oh, was I doing it backwards? Should we do, assigning the value at j to the next index? Okay. Okay, thanks, ChatGPT. So yeah, that's what we do. We say array at j plus 1 now equals array at j. And that's how we use AI in 2024. Oh, look at that. Yay, and submit it. All right. So here's step 39. After our while loop, we're going to need to insert our current value, and we'll remember that our loop ends with, let's read that again. We're going to remember that our loop ends with when j is either out of the array bounds or when the value at j is less than our current value. We're going to remember this right here. Okay. We're going to use the assignment operator to insert our current value into the correct index. Okay. I know it said it on ChatGPT, but I forgot already what it was saying. So we will say assignment operator to insert our current value into the correct index. So array at I now equals curval? No. Array at j now equals curval? Current value? Let's see. No. Curval, you should assign curval to the, j plus 1. Man, I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years. Okay. I'm so confused. What did we just do? What did we just do? So for this, we're going to have current val equals array at I. So array at I would be, since I equals 1, array at I is 2, right? So we're going to let j equal I minus 1. So I is 1, so j equals 0. So while j is greater than or equal to 0, okay, it's equal to 0 right now, and array at j is greater than current value, which it is, 8 is greater than 2. we're going to do array at j plus 1. So array at j is 0 plus 1 is now array at j. So, come on. So, this is now 8. And then we're going to say j minus minus. And then we'll do this again, and we'll see j is not greater than or equal to 0 anymore because no. Yeah, we didn't change j. So j was 0, now j is -1, so it's not going to go through again. And now this was changed. No. Array at j plus 1 is 8. Oh, j minus minus was -1, so now j at 0 is curval, and curval was 2. Okay. So no matter what, we're going to j minus minus, right? So j at first was 0, right? Because j equals I minus 1. And then we j minus minus, which made it -1. So now we're checking to see if j is greater than or equal to 0, which it's not because now j is -1. So this is not going to execute. And we're going to say j plus 1, which array at j plus 1 is now curved out. What? Oh, j plus 1, because j is -1. It's okay, so j is -1, so j plus 1 would be 0. Okay. I hate this. No, and submit it. All right. Oh my goodness, I hate this. I hate thinking. Hate new stuff. Oh. Okay, 5 left, 6 left. 6 left. Let's make sure it's 6 left. Let's pump ourselves up. Okay, 6 left. We're almost there. So, step 40. After our for loop has finished, we're going to need to return the array. We should then be able to see the output change when we click the sort button again. Okay. So after our for loop's finished, we need to return the array. Okay, so yeah, we'll just say return. Is that an in? Yeah, array. And then cap that off with a semicolon. Let's sort it. Okay, so it did it. But it didn't do the console. Did we do any console.logs? No. Well, whatever. Check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right, now we're on to step 41. Oh my goodness. And so to sort the elements of an array, we can use the built-in method called the sort method. This is it right here. So let's go over here and sort method. Just in case. So yeah, this is the choice way. And I'm pretty sure they use the let's go ask the expert. Which sort method does JavaScript use for the sort method? Sort. All right. Depending on the implementation. V8. Okay, so I don't know. All right. So to sort the elements of an array, we can use the built-in method called sort. Therefore, we can update the sorted values variable by assigning it the result of calling sort, the sort method, on the input values array. Okay. We can't, so that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, right? So sorted values. What the? Dot sort? Is that what you want? No. Couldn't be. It can't be. Let's put dot sort after this. Dot sort. Is that what you want? This can't be. I thought so. We should update our sorted values variable to be the result of calling sort method on our input values. Oh, okay. So yeah, let's get rid of this. Put input values dot sort. Boom. Check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now we're on to step 42. So the sort button may appear to work correctly when clicked. It does appear that way. But this is only because the values in the array are all single digits, and the sorting may not work as expected with more complex values, like the number 10, according to this. We're going to change the value and the text of the option element that is selected from 1 to 10. What? Option value selected. Okay, let's put 10. Okay, so we got 10 there. Sort it. Okay, so we still got 1, even though 1's not there. All right, so let's check the code. Come on. Oh, yeah, we got to change the value too. Check it. Okay, let's sort it. Okay, so we got 10 right here. And the reason it's doing this is because the sort method of array instances sorts the elements of an array in place and returns the reference to the same array now sorted. The default sort order is ascending, built upon converting the elements into strings. So they're not numbers, they're strings. Then comparing their sequence to UTF-16 code unit values, all right? So these are all strings right now, right? But the thing about it is, it's when they're strings, this is like alphabetical order, all right? You don't, like if you have the word apple, right? And then the letter B, right? Even though apple has more letters to it, apple's going to be in front of B. So even though this has more digits to it, it's going to be in front of 2 no matter what, even if it's a billion, okay? Because it starts with 1. So that's how this working. So let's submit the code, submit it, and go to the next one. All right. So now we're on to step 43. So notice how the number 10 is placed at the beginning of the array. This is because the default behavior of sort is to convert the number values to strings and sort them alphabetically. And 10 comes before 2 alphabetically. It's not alphabetically. Okay, that's why we open this. It's UTF-16 code unit values edically. All right. Regardless, so to fix this, we can pass a callback function to the sort method. The callback function has 2 parameters. For ours, we're going to use A and B. The parameters of A and B represent the number values of the array that will be sorted. Yeah. So like right here, we can see the syntax. That's not sort. Yeah, it is. A and B parameters, compare function, anyway, whatever. This used to be better too. Nothing's perfect when it comes to coding, not even the reference material. So we're going to leave the function empty for now. So let's do that. We're going to have the parentheses. We'll say A comma B. We'll have the arrow, and then we'll have the empty object right there. Let's check the code. Looks good, and submit it. All right. So step 44, the callback to the sort method should return a number. That number determines how to sort the elements A and B. All right, I didn't see it. It's a pain when we get stuck at some point and the error is very simple. Yes, it absolutely is a pain. But it is what it is. So that number determines how to sort the elements A and B. If the number is negative, we're going to sort A before B. If the number is positive, we'll sort B before A. And if the number is 0, we're not going to change the order, right? So yeah, it does say that here, right here. If it's greater than 0, we're going to sort A after B. So we'll switch B and A up. So it's saying this is A and this is B. This is greater. They're going to switch, okay? So keeping in mind that we want the numbers to be sorted in ascending order, smallest to largest, we're going to return a single subtraction calculation using A and B that will correctly sort the numbers with the above logic. Okay, so yeah, we're going to return, we'll say return A minus B, right? So if this is bigger than this, so A minus B would give us positive 6, it's going to switch, because if it's greater than 0, so if it's positive, it switches. If it's negative, so if once it checks 2 and 4, it's going to see that these two, when 2 minus 4 is going to give us negative, they're not going to switch, all right? So let's cap this thing off with a semicolon, check the code, looks good, and submit it. All right, now on to step 45, last step. So if we press the sort button again, we should see that 10 is now in the correct position of the output. Yes, there we go. To finish this project, we're going to change our option back to a value and text of 1. Okay, so let's get rid of these zeros. Sort it again, still looks great. Check the code, fireworks of confetti, looks good, and submit it and reset. And that's the end of that. All right, I'm going to take a quick break or a long break, whichever kind of break I take. 58 more, ooh, yay. And then we'll get to learn advanced array methods by building a statistics calculator. And I don't know how I should do this. And we'll see you next time. Wait, I still got to press off on this thing. And we'll see you next time.